Okay, this is something that I wrote yesterday. This is a moment of gratitude, and this is my way of teaching men and women today who have got anxiety or any type of anxiety disorder, whether it's social, life, lacking in confidence. This is to mentor you and help you to move forward and hopefully eventually live your dreams, because that's what I've been able to do, and I believe anyone can do it who wants to do it. So I'll read this out. So when I say to people I'm living my dreams despite living with anxiety every day, let me remind you of where I first started and how bad things were for me and how things miraculously changed for me. I couldn't live a normal and happy life, let alone the courage to live my dreams. I was consumed in my anxiety all the time. I was scared of everything. I couldn't live in the world without constantly feeling in great danger that something bad was going to happen to me. Living my dreams back then would have looked like this: being able to walk into a shop and order a coffee without panicking at the till with the person that was serving me. Being able to go out in public places without constantly panicking and rushing to get back home for safety. Being able to go to a gym on my own and trust myself that I could communicate with people, relax and enjoy my workout. To be able to pay my rent and go shopping and cook at home without having anxiety attacks, because I was constantly fearing punishment for a mistake that I could make. I wasn't confident and I wasn't good at dealing with stress and anxiety. I was afraid of feeling uncertain, and anything that would trigger uncertainty would make me spiral into a state of terror and depression. My sensitivity to anything that made me anxious left me constantly vulnerable around people and when I was alone by myself. It wasn't easy for me to relax and find peace in myself. I didn't trust my own mind and I was afraid of my own mind. I hated negative thoughts because they scared me and I worried that they would come true. Excuse me. Being able to book a flight and travel to another country would have been a dream come true for me back then. Most people think of dreams as being rich, successful and famous, and I understand that. I did too. For me, living a dream was being able to overcome my anxieties that were stopping me from living a normal, happy and healthy life. I couldn't make phone calls because they scared me. I was worried that I would start getting awkward with the person that I was talking to on the phone, and that would be really embarrassing, humiliating and shameful. I couldn't sit in a restaurant without being paranoid that everyone was looking at me and thinking negative things about me. The idea of a dream was to be able to sit in a restaurant, eat my food without feeling tense and socially uncomfortable. I wanted to feel confident in myself, and also I didn't want to feel, the opposite, feeling ashamed and embarrassed just for sitting in a restaurant and eating food with other people around. I cannot believe how much I've changed. I could cry with how happy and grateful I am, with how confident and relaxed I am in public places around other people and within my own body. I used to pray to God to take my anxiety away and give me confidence. My childhood dream was to be confident and to have genuine confidence in myself, not arrogance, but a gentle, kind and relaxed confidence that is not artificial. I wanted to help others to be confident. This was my heart's desire, to do this as a career. Les Brown told me I could do this, and I knew deep down in my heart I could do this. Getting bullied and humiliated at school made me confident because it broke me down and it built me back stronger. It wasn't a pleasant experience when I was going through these experiences of bullying and getting embarrassed and being frightened. But I later realised it helped me to overcome all my anxieties, and I'm now very thankful for the negative experiences from bullying and all the things that I went through. Being able to forgive, or at least to find forgiveness to the people that bullied me, made things really good later on. That's where faith helped me to let go of the anger and the hurt. It also made me realise the amount of people that I also hurt without realising. My perspective on my anxieties completely changed from what it was when I was 19 years of age. Anxiety is normal, everyone experiences it. How you deal with it will determine how you feel about yourself and the life that you choose to live. Living your dreams, regardless of what they are, is about making progress with your anxiety, at least to start with anyway, in my opinion. If you've got lots of money, fame, holidays, material assets, but you don't make progress with your anxiety, then you're not going to be happy, because you won't be at peace with yourself. This has been my experience with having some money, a small amount of fame, and material things. It never lasted, guys and girls. The peace that I've got now, I never ever experienced it. It was just, I think the word's fleeting, like getting a like on a video or someone complimenting you. It feels good, it's back down again. Gratitude, faith, God, love for yourself and your family, relationships, how you treat others, enjoying life. These are the things that bring me peace and still do joy, happiness and gratitude. Gaining the other stuff is okay. That's okay in healthy moderation. Obviously people want to make money. I help them to do that and be successful. And I guess when you are successful today, being somewhat famous is a part of that. And if it's from a good place, that's fine, because how else would we get our message out and reach people? But as I said, in healthy moderation, I think deep down people do know that. And if they don't, that's fine. They'll figure it out. So for me, success is how you treat others. Success is knowing who you are and having the courage to live from that place and learn and grow from your mistakes. It's nice to go to nice places, but believe me, if you're not in a nice place within yourself, then no high-end place or holiday resort will make you happy, nor will it give you peace. Overcoming your anxiety and living your dreams is not an overnight thing, it's a journey. And as you know, on all journeys there are highs and lows, there are challenges such as life. Overcoming anxiety and living your dreams doesn't mean that you're free from experiencing anxiety. So, that kind of translates in today's lesson. Today's lesson is about really appreciating your life and you and focusing on you and really getting over the small details, because for some people, which I totally get, not offended at all, this might not mean much to them on their anxiety journey or living their dreams or being confident, because they're thinking the way I was thinking when I was younger. It's not always an age thing. They're thinking about the big goals and dreams, and that's not necessarily wrong. But what I've come to realize is if you don't work on the small anxieties, you're not going to achieve the big goals and dreams, or if you do achieve them, you'll make the mistake that I did in my old life, where you lose gratitude. You just focus on too much on money, fame, validation, and then you come unstuck, things collapse. Whereas this, you're really focusing on building you up on the inside, and then you can enjoy, you can appreciate money, you can appreciate people, you can be successful, but you can be a good person in more of a balanced way, and you can really enjoy your life. Because what I experienced on my journey, yes, I got over a lot of the anxieties at the start and became successful and made money and had some fame and helped a lot of people, but there were areas in my life where I weren't peaceful. There were times where I couldn't sit in a coffee shop on my own with a coffee and just relax and just be present and enjoy life, because all things that I hadn't dealt with in my childhood. And the conversation I'm having now these were the conversations that I really needed to have with myself and to help other people more, right? So confession is so powerful. Most people with anxiety, I was one of them, I totally get it. They're so frightened to confess their fears because they're worried about what people will think. They're afraid, they feel ashamed, their pride gets in the way. But if you can get past pride and shame, you're going to go to another level. You're not going to care so much what people think because you're going to feel so good in yourself. You're going to be humble. Even better, you won't judge people if they judge you. I don't judge people if they judge me. I can't judge people harshly because I've made too many mistakes in my life and been forgiven, and people have been patient. It doesn't mean I can't get upset, obviously, but I practice that and I've got a good opinion of myself. So as I'm sharing my story today and my testimony, I'm hoping to inspire men and women to inspire themselves to go out and face their anxieties and become a better person and live their dreams as well. Because if you've had a dream all your life to be a singer and that's what you're born to do, I want you to do that. If you've had a dream to be an entrepreneur and change the world, go for it. I want you to do that. For guys and girls, if your dream is to do what I'm doing, to be a public speaker and a teacher and write books and live an amazing life, do that. Or to be a personal trainer or make films or write scripts or be a writer. These are amazing dreams. And you know, dreams are there for a reason, to be achieved. But what I'm saying, to get to that point, you're going to have to build your confidence up. And you want to become a good person because you want to be a happy singer, a happy entrepreneur. You don't want to be how I was on the start of my journey, really successful externally, but internally broken. Well, now it's different. Now I feel internally strong and peaceful and good and continuing, always improving, obviously, right? So the confession helps you to do that, because if you don't confess, especially for guys as well, I think men find it really hard because of their male ego and pride. But if you bottle these things up, they just eat you alive, and the anxiety gets fed, and your demons just drive you crazy and they blackmail you, and you don't realize how unconsciously you're living. You're not enjoying daily living. So for me, living a dream is living each day in gratitude. I woke up this morning, I say my prayers, I'm up early, clean the apartment, I'm enjoying this video. This is living a dream. I have bigger dreams, which is to help more people and to get my message out bigger. But I don't neglect daily living and appreciating, because what I learned on my journey is there are things that we know, that we're told, but we don't really apply until we really suffer. If you don't appreciate other people, you're not going to be happy. And I know people are going to say, well, people have done me wrong, and people can be and I know that, of course, people are challenging. You know, we've all made mistakes, but still, you can't get around that, because you won't be happy, and there are a lot of good people out there, and if you change yourself, people seem to be a lot nicer. That's what I learned on my journey. So today is a confessionary lesson, mentoring, of sharing part of my story. You know, this is definitely part of what's been in my heart for a long time, and teaching you from what I feel my mistakes, my things I've done correct, so hopefully you don't have to make them. So yeah, gratitude, because as I said, when I was at my worst, I was suicidal, I was paranoid, I didn't trust people, I didn't trust myself, and I just was begging God. I was so desperate to be confident and see normal people and just think, I just want to be normal around my family and friends. I don't want to be frightened all the time. This is unhealthy. Fear is normal, anxiety is normal, but not to a degree where it's abnormal. And that's what I come to realize. So I just wanted to get my anxieties to a normal level so I could be myself and be confident and return back to how I was when I was younger, because I was naturally confident, caring and trusting, and not so much of an overthinker, and not so introverted, even though I think being introverted is a beautiful thing, but not to the extreme. So this is getting the balance right, and it's so good. I know a lot of people appreciate it, and even if they don't, I'm totally fine with that. And that's another thing of having confidence, where you're okay if people don't like you, you're okay if they don't value the things that you value, but you live your life from your values, respect other people, but also not take it to heart. But years ago I would have. If someone didn't like my video or if they disagreed with me, I would have been so affected by it. It could have ruined my life. It could have put me in a place of feeling suicidal and deeply depressed, hurt, rejected, and so forth. So appreciating your progress. Now, some of you might be asking, how did I get to that point? And I'm going to share it today and throughout all my videos and stories and teachings. How I got to that point was initially with finding a purpose, because before I didn't have a purpose, I was too scared to go in public places. I was so frightened people would see my nervousness and awkwardness and judge me harshly, and I just couldn't deal with it. So I had to find a purpose. I personally found that through hitting rock bottom, which I don't want anyone to get to, but the reality is people do get to that point. Just telling you my story. So I was crying out to God for help. I was praying on my own. And that's when I had a breakthrough and heard Les Brown's message. So praying to God, listening to Les Brown, gave me purpose. And the purpose was, I've got to overcome this, and I want to teach it. I want to help people. But I've got to get myself to a level where I'm confident and I can help others, because before I help others, I've got to help myself. So exposure therapy was how I did it, but I had to get a purpose first, and I've just told you the purpose. I had to fix this problem. I wanted to help other people. So I started to go out and practice sitting with the uncomfortable feelings. Initially, it was really uncomfortable for me in all situations, and what comes to memory is Fitzroy Lodge, the boxing gym. Going down to Fitzroy Lodge was the same practice as me reading A Moment of Gratitude yesterday, if that makes sense. I know I'm going time traveling, but sitting down yesterday, I was washing my clothes, I went to a hotel, got a coffee, spoke to the people, and I just sat there and I just thought, there's families around, there's people, I'm speaking, I'm calm, I'm happy, this is a dream come true. I want to help as many men and women to experience this, because it's the best. Because when you experience this, you know you can achieve anything, because without the peace and the confidence, it's very hard to go on stage and sing or perform or go and pursue your dreams, whatever they are. Please let me know, guys and girls, what your dreams are. I love it. I love knowing what people's dreams are, fascinated of it, and I want them to succeed. And that's why I changed my teaching on this second chapter of my life, being it that I'm 40 and kind of a bit before 40. So exposure. So yes, initially, guys and girls, I know a lot of you don't want to hear this, but trust me, have faith, it work out. You've got to spend time sitting and not judging the discomfort, which takes time, patience and practice. So I had to go into public places and all situations around family, friends, new people, especially like restaurants, boxing gyms, weightlifting gyms, public places, restaurants, supermarkets. I really had to sit and go, right, observe myself. I'm uncomfortable right now, but it's fine. This is exciting. I know why I'm uncomfortable, because I've got trauma, I've got anxiety, I'm self-conscious, I'm conscious that people might be looking at me, and I'm worried about what they're thinking, but that's fine, because I'm going to overcome this through the process of sitting in this and getting used to these feelings, which were scaring me from my childhood, followed me up to my adulthood. Now we're going to look at these feelings and realize there's nothing to be afraid of. It's just fear, anxiety, it's unpleasant, it's painful at times, and it started to go away. And as I sat in those feelings and they went away, this happened. I could breathe, I could smile, I could be myself, I could express myself, or I could just sit in a place and then realize, when I look back, all the fears that I had of people attacking me or judging me or doing something horrible, 99.9% of the time, it never came true. Never came true. These were just paranoid thoughts that did originate, obviously, from childhood, where people did attack me, right? So I could understand the mechanism. And everybody has gone through this who's got anxiety. If you've been attacked when you were younger, physically hit, which I was, or verbally assaulted or shouted at, or a combination of both, and you've not recovered from it, and it's put a lot of fear in you, and those fears have created demons and all these sorts of anxieties, then of course you're going to fear it happening again, and you're going to fear experiencing that again. So disproving it, and then later on learning martial arts, boxing, gave me that confidence. Let's say if worst case scenario someone did try and bully me, I could defend myself. whether it was physically or verbally or both. I could handle it because of what martial arts and boxing taught me, but it tended to never happen. Then later on I realised, because I changed my outlook on people, you know, my whole demeanour, people didn't feel threatened by me, because I realised, I mean, this might not be 100%, but I'm going to be brave. I think when I was going through a lot of pain growing up, people were a bit weary of me, because I was a nice person, I was kind, sensitive, but I was angry and hurt and scared. So that would have come off, and some people would have felt that and been like, whoa, this guy, what's up with him? And that's what happens, you know. That's why I think we all need, everybody needs forgiveness, because it's not right if you've been bullied. I didn't choose to be bullied. I was a nice kid growing up. I was sensitive, kind, but nonetheless, you know, I made mistakes. I bullied back at times. So, you know, forgiveness is a part of this. And I think a lot of people with anxiety, I know from my journey in coaching people for over 12 years, they struggle to forgive themselves or forgive others because of how they feel and how it's made them feel. And this whole process is a process of finding redemption, if that's the right word, forgiveness for yourself and others. And part of building confidence and peace comes with all these things, but I'll get to that in another video, because it is a deep topic. But for now, back to what I said, you know, you can fix the past by fixing the future, or come to terms with it. And that was that moment of gratitude yesterday, and I find that all the time. So, you know, the confession is so helpful, because if I didn't confess my deepest anxieties to God in my 20s, and then eventually always to my nan, she was brilliant, and to my mum, and now I can talk to my dad about anything. But if I didn't at some point confess these things, I don't know if I'd have been alive, because it was agony. It was so frightening keeping them in. I felt alone. You do feel abandoned, you do feel rejected, even though it isn't factually true, but you feel that way, and you live that way until you change it. So if anything, getting your fears out with someone you trust, whether you want to do it under this video, you're welcome to do it. If you don't feel comfortable, that's fine. Share it with a friend. You follow your heart, what your heart tells you. It never really misleads you. If you listen to your heart and your intuition, the mind can mislead you. So years ago, my pride prevented me from making progress quicker and living my dreams, because I couldn't admit to myself that, yeah, I've got anxiety, and I've got deep insecurities, and I've got issues, and I've got thoughts and feelings, and certain blackmailing, lying, intrusive, terrifying insecurities, and couldn't go there, couldn't admit it, because my thought process back then was, if I admit this, that means it's true, and I don't want to feel like I'm not good enough. But it wasn't true. But to get to feeling good enough and confident, had to face it, had to take on those bullying thoughts. And when you do, and you get past them, you're so happy that you've done it. You're not worried about what other people think, because you think good about you and feel good. So it's the reverse of what the anxiety threatens. Confession, and then creating a strategy, like I done, by finding a purpose or a reason as to why you're going to go and face your external and internal fears. So for me, the way I explain it, internally, to overcome these fears and exercise these demons away, I had to confess them. A continuation of confessing the deepest fears that are scaring me and threatening me and overwhelming me, and then go out. Obviously, we live in a practical world, and disprove them, which I done by going to public places and getting proof. Oh, there's a fly there. Getting proof that nothing's going to happen, I can handle it, and good things happen. Having good experiences with people in public places and gymnasiums and traveling, that's what also gives you, I think they do that in CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. They challenge your assumptions and beliefs, and through a process of what I teach and what I've done and doing, by getting proof that that isn't true, that just because you have a thought and you believe it doesn't make it reality. Test it, see if it's real. When I had thought so many years that I could never speak, especially on a video or in public on a phone, because I'd start stuttering and I'd get embarrassed, everyone would laugh at me, and it would break my heart. I proved it wrong by speaking hundreds of public talks, hundreds of coaching sessions with clients from around the world, and friendships, and meet-up groups, and I've made thousands of YouTube videos. I got proof that that isn't true. And when it did happen, I could handle it. When I did get nervous, I recovered from it. So part of overcoming anxiety is building the confidence, getting the proof that if you make a mistake, because we all make mistakes, no one's perfect. You know, even I'm not perfect, but you can get to a point where you're confident and happy. And this is how you live your dreams, by getting past these anxieties. So I hope all of you enjoyed the video. I could go on forever now. Once I get into a flow, I'm going to stop it because I want to keep the videos to a certain point. I'll make more videos. Let me know in the box below if this helped you to move forward, live your dreams, and confess your anxieties and go to work on them. Please subscribe to the channel as well, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for your support, guys and girls. I appreciate it. Have a good day.